Okay. But you couldn't do my last name? All right, happy Monday, everyone. So Saturday, President Biden handed out several medals of freedom. Although it must have been weird for Hillary Clinton. Usually she's the one putting something around people's necks. That was a good joke. Somehow I deserve more. All right. And then when President Biden bestowed the medal on NBA legend Magic Johnson, Joe apparently whispered, "I know how you feel. I have hearing aids." Nothing like returning with an AIDS joke. George Soros also got a medal, huh? I guess Satan was busy. Meanwhile, while swearing in newly elected senators last week, Kamala Harris flubbed the Pledge of Allegiance. In her defense, those were 2-for-1 margaritas. As you know, today is January 6th, otherwise known as the day Mike Pence lost his balls. But it bears reminding, if someone offers a tour of the Capitol building, don't follow the guy wearing a "I'm definitely not a Fed" t-shirt. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has resigned from office. Yeah. You know, it's sad. It's sad. Apparently Canada just wasn't ready for a leader of color. That was him dressed as Aladdin. Either that or he was applying for an H-1B1 visa. A New York food cart vendor was caught on camera grabbing a pigeon. Ew. Witnesses said they have no idea what happened with that disease-ridden creature, but they hope the bird's okay. Congress certified Donald Trump's presidential win today. We heard Jerry Nadler was so upset he crapped himself. But then we were told, no, it's just Monday. And Joe Biden recently said, quote, "I know more world leaders than any one of you have ever met in your whole goddamn life." He then boasted, "I can pick up my phone and call Emmanuel Macron right now." Adding, "I love that black kid." I think he's still alive. All right. So happy Jan 6th, or as I like to call it, Jan-teenth. Let's see how the media is covering it.
Since the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, when supporters of Donald Trump stormed this building, trying to prevent the election victory of Joe Biden from being certified. On the anniversary. Oh, my God. Oh, God, Sam. Oh.
Apparently, even Mother Nature is MAGA. All right. So I'm back, and true, I had a baby. I was out for a month, and I have the chewed up nipples to prove it. Eat your heart out, Mayor Pete. Guess that makes me qualified to run the Department of Transportation.
Sure does.
Speaking of trans, any man who thinks putting on a dress and a wig makes you a woman, no way. I was there when that baby popped out, and no dude can do that. You might as well put on a diaper and claim you're a baby or a president. But there are few things worse than someone in the media having a child. And not just because you have to imagine them having sex, but they act like they're the first person to do it, like they just invented having children. It's funny. A lot of new parents just years ago were telling you that having kids was selfish. How dare you bring another mouth to feed among the starving billions? Then they have kids, and suddenly their precious brat is the exception. They went from hating kids to having one that they can't wait to transition. It amazes me more that some moms can be so pro-abortion. It's like being a biological Benedict Arnold, because these moms know that having kids is the best thing they're ever going to do, aside from ironing.
a sexist would say.
But rather than endure sneers by their fellow diaper deniers for indulging the patriarchy, they cheer women to abort the one thing that gives them meaning in life, besides watching this show, of course. So what's the male equivalent? Well, imagine a guy winning a Bronze Star and saying, it's not worth it. Sorry, that's the only thing he's going to remember on his deathbed. Well, that and the orgy with the cast of The Facts of Life. Charlotte Rae really knew how to party.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I'm comparing motherhood to war, because it is. Women put in a 9-month tour of duty, and at the end are so full of hormones and exhaustion, it makes PTSD look like athlete's foot. And for that reason, we should treat moms like conquering heroes. But the message from most libs, don't have kids. But if we do, it's because our kids will be better than yours. Because in the media, we act like everything we do is of bigger importance. But do you think my Uncle Frank, a plumber, got to take a month off every time his wife pushed one out? Please, this guy had a plunger back in his hand 3 minutes after they cut the umbilical cord. Come to think of it, I think he brought the plunger to the birth. Just in case. So I won't brag. 7 billion people have gone through this. But if you're shocked by me having a brat at 60, imagine how I feel. When my wife told me she was pregnant, mine was the first diaper she had to change. It's not easy, but it's not earth-shattering either. The lesson I've learned is how much I gotta unlearn. Meaning throughout my life, I've mastered the art of being selfish. And it's helped my career. But a great career isn't hard when you're only about you. Although there are exceptions. But if you work single-mindedly for 10 years, you can master any profession, except maybe porn, because in 5 years, you've already aged out. Ask Trace Gallagher. He may be a silver fox, but you're done once the carpet matches the drapes. So becoming a parent at my age is forcing me to learn things many of you learned in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, that you have to think about someone else. And for me, that's tough. My entire home has changed. Now there's someone else sleeping in the bassinet. But a wise person told me this: once you have a kid, you can't regret anything you did before that, because to change the past would erase the possibility of that child. And maybe why Alec Baldwin keeps having kids. It's awesome. Suddenly I have no regrets after 60 years of bad behavior. So my message to you, men and women, if you feel regret over your past, have a kid. Yeah. It's easy. Almost anyone can do it. And really, kids practically take care of themselves. Right now, mine's sitting in the car, double parked outside. And don't worry, I roll down the windows. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He dresses like Al Capone and can help you get a loan. Host of Making Money on Fox Business, Charles Page. This former gymnast gives liberals fits while doing the splits. Host of Outkick the Morning, Charlie Arnold. No one can hold a candle to her because she had beans for lunch. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor, catch it. And he's like Darth Vader, tall, black, and perhaps he could be your father. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and everything. Charles, you got kids, right?
Yeah.
How many you got?
3 kids, 5 grandkids.
You got grandkids?
Yeah.
How old are you?
62.
Wow. Got you beat.
Do you think it's probably not going to be in my cards?
Definitely a late bloomer.
I got to tell you, there's this big longevity thing going on right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really big. And you've got the money, so you got a better shot than you think.
Yeah.
You probably got a better shot at that than you thought you had at even having the kid in the first place.
You know, you're right. I don't know though. I don't think I could handle the pressure of being a granddad. You know, it's just like I just want to have the kid, and then she changes my diapers.
Well, like, the problem though is like even think about this. 12 years from now, you're at the school. You know, they're doing the things with the father and the son, and your three-legged race. You guys come in last. I mean, you guys are gonna come in last in everything. It's gonna be embarrassing. Like, oh, there goes the Gutfeld.
Last in everything. However, Charlie, I had a baby girl, which is very important because I never have to play ball because girls don't like sports.
No, I don't know about that. You're probably going to end up with the biggest tomboy there is. No, no chance. I have a feeling your wife is going to be training her well. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know that much about your wife.
You better watch.
Except that I ran into you guys at the beach in Miami once.
Yes, that's
and you were staying at a nice hotel, and it looks like, she enjoys nice things. So maybe your daughter will end up as high maintenance as your wife. Then what are you going to do? Then what?
I'll be long gone.
Not if the biohacking comes into play.
Yes.
They say if you can live 20 more years, AI is going to take over. You can live well past 100.
I'll have my brain in a vat and my wallet under the vat.
You'd be like Austin Powers.
I don't know. Kat, has my compelling monologue about impending parenthood or being a parent inspired you to become a better mom? You're, 5 weeks away?
Yeah, it's 5 weeks till my due date. Well, I'm really excited to meet this new nice Greg.
I didn't say it was nice.
You were like, I think about other people's feelings now, and I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited. I am really excited to be a mom. I'm really excited. I think I need it. I think I really need it and I just can't wait. I have a lot of nurturing tendencies that have been wasted on dudes without jobs and a cat.
Yes.
So I'm really excited. But while you were out, I gotta say, my favorite comment. You know how many people, maybe 1,000 people, are like, "Are you so surprised Greg beat you?" I'm like, no, he's 60. I'm surprised by the narrowness of the lead.
It is true. I put it off for quite a while. But you know what? If I did it differently, it would come out differently. And I don't want it to come out differently. Hence, no regrets, including that murder in '89.
Yeah. Clean slate, baby.
Yeah, that hobo had it coming. Hobo Carl, Tyrus, looked at me the wrong way. So I smothered him with his own pillow.
Nice.
Tyrus, you are, you as a parent of many wonderful children.
Who you been talking to?
Do you have any advice? I mean, I know you're probably tired of giving advice.
No, I don't. No one gave me any.
Yeah.
They're really, because
Girls.
everyone's well, I have 3, and all 3 of mine play sports. So your whole little theory is. My daughter does equestrian and soccer. My other daughter plays basketball. My other daughter swims and plays an instrument. So you're going to be busy. Sons are different. Like, you didn't have a son because you want your son to replace you. You don't worry about him at a certain age. You hope that your DNA, well, my DNA, anyways. Whereas you're always going to worry about your daughter. So whether you're 120 or 72, it's going to be harder for you because you'll be thinking things you'll want to do to that first boyfriend, but
you can't.
You won't be able to, but you have the money to hire out.
The first prom, the guy's
going
going
to be able to afford to have a bodyguard who looks similar to me to breadbox any of the incoming male suitors.
Your daughter will hate you for that.
Yes, but she'll hate the bodyguard because you will pull the Biden and be like, I don't remember.
Yes.
So I would say take it slow, enjoy it, because it's going to happen so fast.
Yeah.
Before you know it, she's going to be walking. Before you know that, she's going to be talking. Before you know it, she's going to tell you, you're the worst dad ever, and I can't stand you, and all that good stuff. And so enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Soak it in. And when you're off with your child, be with your child.
You know, Greg, I was reading something from John Updike. And he once wrote that having affairs gave him a glimmer of immortality, but also having a baby late in life could do that as well. Did you think, like, maybe you could just keep having affairs and skip the baby part?
You know, it's funny. I didn't think, Charles, you were going to go that way.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to say, it's so beautiful that you chose the path of childhood, having a child. You said, Why not just bang women? Pull the.
Well, the last conversation we had before you went on break.
As an expert in that field, I'm going to strongly say don't. Because every state, with the exception of New Hampshire, you will have to pay for said child. So.
Right. Oh, New Jersey's the worst. Forget about it. That's something different.
I just moved there. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Well, we learned
Don't ever get divorced with kids in New Jersey. That's all I'm telling you.
There's your advice.
I'm telling you. I know you make a lot of money. You still have to get a second job. That's all I'm telling you. You guys will catch Greg after the show selling hot dogs.
All right.
This took a turn.
Up next, losing Canada's boss. There's no great loss. Out you go, Mr. Trudeau. Charlie, the Canadian PM or BM. Justin Trudeau stepped down this morning as his Liberal Party is in a shambles and his country faces 25% Trump tariffs. Does this prove that somehow Trump has given the okay for other countries to take out the trash?
Absolutely. I think at this point in time, there is nobody on this planet that can deny the impact that Trump is going to have once he gets into office. I mean, even the impact he's already having before officially getting into office. It's like he has all of these world leaders completely shaking in their boots. We had, 2 years? It was 2 years ago that people really started calling for Trudeau to step down. Nothing happened. And then suddenly he wins the election, pulls off one of his famous troll jobs, and all of a sudden Trudeau's like, oh, wait, I'm nothing more than an afterthought. It's going to be interesting, though, to see what Trudeau does next, though, because he's already made quite the jump, drama teacher to prime minister.
Yeah, could be Uber driver.
Well, I have a better one. I think if he really wants to up the ante, I think he fires up that OnlyFans page pretty soon because we all know how much he loves to screw people.
Yeah. Kat, it is pretty funny that just a few weeks ago, Trump was calling him the governor of a state, basically belittling him. And then instead of anybody coming to his defense, he has to resign.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely like a "you can't fire me, I quit" situation. He's 20 points behind the Conservatives, so he makes this big show of resigning and blah blah blah. He's just gonna be a dude who does speeches. That's what he's gonna do. That's what they all do, and for whatever reason, people are gonna pay him.
So no OnlyFans.
I don't think so.
A Netflix
if he did,
series.
I would
do a Netflix series with Meghan
more.
Markle.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking with Meghan Markle. That's exactly what I was thinking. They'll have a podcast together that no one will listen to, that they'll still get inexplicably get $30 million for.
Yes.
And we will love it because we'll take clips for our show.
That thing is, I am going to miss him because he's just so easy on.
Yes, they should. If they can find that Canadian teacher with the big boobs, run him.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Remember that dude? I can't think of his name.
Don't tell him.
Haley.
How can you not remember the name? How can you not remember the name after what you've done to us for over a year now? How can you not remember the name?
That whole segment we did, don't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Before Greg finds out, is out the window now.
All the things that are happening vis-a-vis Trump, I don't even know how to use that word, but it's like people are reacting to what they see versus what they were told by the government. And I think that's what's happening in all of these countries is that people are saying oh, they're acting on what they see. We know Trudeau's a fraud. We don't need him anymore.
Well, the hoax is up.
Yes.
The world leaders got together and the Liberals, our administration, and they decided to focus all their strengths on imaginary monsters. Everyone was chasing Puff the Magic environment dragon. We had to spend all this money on the Green New Deal, and all this stuff, all this fake terrorists, not real ones, moms and dads, truck drivers, anybody who stood in the way while they all made huge money and spread it around, and then whoop, the jig was up in America and runs downhill.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys are getting out now so they won't go through the embarrassment, but it's too late. Trump's not going to not tell on you. He knows it. He's assembled a team of people with huge axes to grind with the way the world has gone because they paid a price for it. Everyone that they took out of politics, that they destroyed, that they woked out, that they canceled, and it was a worldwide thing. So now the jig is up, and everyone's trying to he's resigning because he doesn't want to face the music, but he's still going to have to face that music. No Netflix with Meghan Markle is going to save him from that. But you're going to see it across the board. We see it everywhere. We even see it in mainstream where all of a sudden comedians and who went out of their way to bury us and to make it to where we couldn't do movies and stuff. Now they're saying, oh, hey, is it cool if we come over to your house now? No, stay in there. You're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily Trump. Trump is leading the charge, but across the board, the hoax is up.
Yeah, the hoax is up, Charles. What do you make of? We don't care about Canada politics, but this guy. We were forced to because he was the hood ornament of the woke.
Right. We do care about, and Tyrus is talking about this. The establishment is the same around the world. The Western world is collapsing. Because all the establishment did was make us hate each other, fight each other while they ripped everyone off. His treatment of those truckers was, first of all, he's a Nepo baby. He only got the job because of his father. I didn't even know he was there for 9 years. That's how inefficient.
Fidel Castro, right?
And Trump is like one of these Marvel characters going through the universe eating planets, right? eating establishment planets. And he's coming, he's only like about 2 or 3 planets away from us. And they're like, let's get the hell out of here. One day soon, we're going to find out all of them on the spaceship getting the hell out of here. It's going, where'd you down all those dudes go? It's like kind of secret deal with Elon Musk. We got to get the hell out of here. And they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
They're getting the hell out of there. They should have been out of there a long time ago. But people, not just in America, but around the world, look at Germany, look at Italy, look at France. They've been emboldened to kick those people out and take charge, and I love it.
All right. And I love it too. She wished Trump ill will, but now tells his haters to chill.
Just listen to us.
What? I said you could have just listened to us.
Will the madness finally cease from Trump's obese niece? During a recent live stream, Donald Trump's estranged niece, Mary, admits she and her fellow Trump haters have been overreacting. And it's front page news on, No magazine. She also described her addiction to the outraged news cycle and the emotional toll it's taken on anti-Trumpers. Watch.
I took so much of what happened this past year to heart, and it had an impact on me. That was not a good one. Donald would post something on Twitter or True Social or wherever that was absolutely insane. But he kept getting propped up, so it didn't end up mattering. And we would overreact and think it was the end of the world, right? So let's just take a breath.
You lost. Could have just listened to us, Mary. We were telling you to lighten up on day one. You were freaked out. But you were too busy penning hateful books about your family and sniffing MSNBC's farts to realize you'd become such a drama-hungry doomsday hypochondriac. Wasn't just Trump either. Mary went on to trash Musk, Marco Rubio, Tom Homan, and a veritable who's who of people who've accomplished more than she ever will. Regardless, your 15 minutes are up, Mary Trump. But who knows, maybe your uncle will give you a job if you grovel enough. Those greens at Mar-a-Lago don't cut themselves. Kat, she could have just listened to us.
Well, she made a lot of money not listening to us.
That's true.
Right? When expose was a whole genre of books where it was like, well, I heard Trump say this, and it would be like a whole book about it. It was like a whole genre book. She did that. That was very profitable at the time. She got a lot of airtime for that at the time. That was the thing at the time. Now, clearly not so much the thing, so she's moving to the thing that's the thing. She seems like a grifter, basically, is the word I would use. Because people are like, you can only say so many times that the world's going to end, this is it, the walls are closing in, before the walls stay where they are, and then eventually people kind of don't believe you anymore.
Exactly. Tyrus?
So this is why I love that I come from that sea turtle family.
Yeah.
Where I just hatched out the egg and just made my way. Because there's nothing worse than a family member. See, she had inside trader information. People took her seriously because of her last name. She knew about him personally. So her attacks were way different than somebody like a Acosta who got on TV and went after him because he had arguments. She went from the point where I know them because it's his family.
Right.
And she prostituted and pimped out her family name for profit. Now, she's not doing too bad because she's sitting there with an aloe hat on, and I know that. But what Kat was saying is that she raked so much natural recognition to where we were discussing her on TV. She was on she was CNN, MS, anyone who would have her on. So they would talk to her for hours. There'd be a panel of people to break down what she said. She made a lot, but the problem is her book sales dried up. Just like, but everybody who profited from the Russia stuff and saying anything they could about him, they ran out of money and they no longer had any legitimacy. So they're saying overreached. You buried your family for profit. There's a special place in hell for you. It's like, so you saying overreached, it shouldn't be us that you're doing these shows from. You should be apologizing to your entire family that you threw under the bus for profit because you weren't part of it.
Can you show a picture of her before I ask Charles a question? Do you think she's too attractive to do The View?
She might be. She might be.
Yeah. I would say she needs to put on a few pounds.
Yeah.
You know,
might get that last chair on the end somewhere, but yeah, maybe they'll add a chair. I don't know.
The last chair on the end.
I agree with everything that Tyra said. I just think there's so many of these phonies out there, and that there must be. Chris, we just came out at Christmas time, and there was an island of misfit toys. It's got to be an island for who just flipped, right? I mean, and the ones who really were really amazing to me were the diehard conservatives who all of a sudden, because of Trump, they're no longer. You had a philosophy that you ran for office on, that you run on TV for every day. I believe in this philosophy: low taxes and low this. Trump is president, raising taxes. Letting all pull down the gates. It's like, where's your core? Where's your real, honest to goodness belief center? They didn't have it from the beginning, so at least it was revealed to us how many people were BSing us, and the worst ones were the ones like the Standard or some of the National Review folks. Not all,
Bill
some
Kristol.
of them. Yeah, these kind of right. And you know what it was? They felt so superior. They felt so superior over the Republicans in the heartland, who somehow they did trick into voting for them as they sent their jobs to China. Somehow they did trick them for a couple of decades to vote against their own self-interest. And when Trump woke them up and they revolted, these jerks ran the other way. I didn't do that on purpose, but it worked out pretty good, right?
Every time his phone rings, he makes another million.
Charlie, is there anybody in your family or extended family that you need to worry about that may turn on you?
No, actually, I was really pleasantly surprised when I went home for Christmas. I mean, there were secret conversations that were being had, but there were some of my family members that I was genuinely concerned about. And they came up to me, they're like, I'm on your side. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so happy. But truly, I think it's one, like the opportunities, the money dries up, and they're forced to maybe go the other way. But I also believe that it's just exhausting being so miserable all the time.
It's hard.
Like, it's a charade that gets very tiresome to keep up. And I feel like you're seeing so many different people on the left switching lanes, not just Mary Trump, but you're seeing elite Hollywood celebrities, the mainstream media. I mean, just look at the past couple of days. Last night was the Golden Globes. Nikki Glaser gets on stage. One of the first things she says is talks about how everyone in the audience is so ignorant to think that they can.
Wait a minute, you were the one who watched that?
I did watch it.
I watched. Someone watched it. That was you.
I was flipping back and forth between that and the game, but I was surprised because she told these jokes and people were laughing. They weren't shutting her up. Then a few nights ago, CNN. As the ball was getting ready to drop, you had Whitney Cummings on CNN's airwaves making jokes about CNN, how bad their ratings are, talking about how we actually have a dead guy for a president and no one, felt the need to tell us these things. These things would not have flown a couple of weeks
I think
ago.
the thing that gets me about that is that there are guys on this show that were doing it when there was a risk involved, when Biden was in power. And now you have Whitney Cummings and Nikki Glaser making these jokes. There's no risk there anymore. So
they're
it's
on
like
the bandwagon.
Yeah.
It's a safe wagon.
Yeah, they're deserting their tribe.
But it's still the fact that, CNN didn't shut it down right away. I don't know, maybe says something.
Shut down for what? What were they going to switch to?
You're right. They have no option. The ball wasn't ready to drop.
The budget is we got to run with it.